Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, a poem by Robert Frost.
Look at these pictures carefully and answer the questions. Where do you think the man in the picture is? Why do you think he has stopped there? Title of the poem, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. Author's name, Robert Frost. Robert Frost, 1874-1963, was a famous poet from America. He wrote poems about nature and life in simple words that everyone could understand. He lived in a place called New England, where he learned a lot about the countryside and the forests. People liked his poems because they felt real and made them think about important things. Frost won many awards for his poetry, showing how much people loved his writing. His poems are still read today and teach us important lessons about life and nature. Themes and central ideas. The poem Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening is about a person who stops to admire the snowy woods. It talks about how beautiful and peaceful the woods are, especially when covered in snow. The person feels a sense of calm and happiness while being surrounded by nature.
But even though the person wants to stay in the woods and enjoy the moment, they know they have to keep going. They have promises to keep and things they need to do before they can rest. So, despite the beauty of the woods, they have to continue on their journey. Overall, the poem is about enjoying the beauty of nature, while also understanding the importance of fulfilling responsibilities and staying true to commitments. It teaches us that even though we may want to stop and enjoy the beauty around us, we must also remember our duties and obligations in life.
The poem Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening is about a person who stops to admire the snowy woods. It talks about how beautiful and peaceful the woods are, especially when covered in snow. The person feels a sense of calm and happiness while being surrounded by nature. But even though the person wants to stay in the woods and enjoy the moment, they know they have to keep going. They have promises to keep and things they need to do before they can rest. So, despite the beauty of the woods, they have to continue on their journey.
Overall, the poem is about enjoying the beauty of nature while also understanding the importance of fulfilling responsibilities and staying true to commitments. It teaches us that even though we may want to stop and enjoy the beauty around us, we must also remember our duties and obligations in life. Stopping by woods on a snowy evening? Whose woods these are? I think I know his house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake. The darkest evening of the year, he gives his harness bells a shake, to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark, and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Robert Frost. Stanza 1. The speaker is standing in someone else's woods, which are filling up with snow. He knows who owns the woods, and their house is nearby in the village. But the owner won't see him because he's just stopping for a moment to admire the snowfall. Stanza 2. The speaker imagines his horse is confused. They've stopped in an unusual place, not near a familiar farmhouse, but in the middle of snowy woods, next to a frozen lake, on a very dark night. Stanza 3. The horse shakes its harness bells, maybe wondering if they're in the wrong place. But it's a peaceful scene. The only sounds are the gentle wind and the soft snowfall. Stanza 4. The speaker is tempted to stay in the beautiful, peaceful woods, but he remembers he has responsibilities, promises to keep, and a long journey ahead, miles to go before I sleep. He has to keep moving on, even though it's tempting to linger in this lovely spot.
The poem touches these themes. Nature. The beauty and peacefulness of the snowy woods are a major draw for the speaker. It's a place of tranquility and escape. Isolation. The speaker is alone with his horse in the snowy landscape. There's a sense of quiet solitude. Duty. The speaker is pulled between the allure of nature and his obligations, promises to keep. He has responsibilities that he needs to attend to. Mortality. The repeated line, "miles to go before I sleep," can also be interpreted as a reference to life's journey and the inevitability of death. There's a sense of time passing and the speaker needing to make the most of it. Imagery, visual imagery, darkness, snowfall, frozen lake, auditory imagery, silence, harness bells, kinesthetic imagery, stopping.
Summary of the poem. Themes. The poem explores nature's beauty and tranquility, the speaker's isolation in the snowy landscape, the tension between duty and desire, and the underlying theme of mortality. Imagery. Vivid descriptions bring the scene to life, with visual details of the snowy woods and frozen lake, along with auditory and kinesthetic elements that emphasize the quiet and the act of stopping. Atmosphere and mood. Frost creates a melancholic yet beautiful atmosphere. The peaceful allure of the woods contrasts with the speaker's need to keep moving, leaving the reader with a sense of contemplation about life's choices and the passage of time. Techniques, juxtaposition, figurative language, sentence structure, and shifting tone all contribute to the poem's rich atmosphere and complex emotions. Resources: AI tools, ChatGPT, OpenAI text generation, Gemini, Google text generation, Copilot, Microsoft image creation, 11 Labs, voice generation. Thank you. Keep watching. Go on using these materials to teach the students in your class.